Greetings and salutations, peace and blessings. What it do, world? Welcome to the Unsocial. My name is Jay-Z Wayne. Today's broadcast is going to deal with a subject that not many has spoke on, not many of this demographic, and that is betrayal blindness. Now, betrayal blindness is probably one of the most harmful to your social life conditions that anyone can be afflicted with. But that harm is exacerbated when you happen to have a demographic like mine, when you happen to be a demographic of mine, not like. There is no other human experience similar or comparable to that of the American Negro, especially an American Negro that cherishes a moral compass. So, as an American Negro with a moral compass that cherishes his moral compass, it could only be the most harmful and the most torturous affliction of all to even be accused of betrayal blindness. We all know that this is a man's world, and by that I mean this is a world where it's men among men, it's business, it's capitalism, it's war, it's sales, it's charisma, it's expertise, it's skill, it's competition. Every day, every person, and every engagement is competition. And seduction, which is another form of sales. So, everyone with every engagement is looking for an edge, looking for a weakness, looking for leverage in their engagements. And they carry with them their assumptions and their preconceived notions and their beliefs, their biases, their prejudice. And that's the most important thing to cherish for each and all humans of free will. And it should always be that way. No one should be forced into one direction or another. But with that being said, everything is about loyalty. Everything is about leverage and relationships. So it's multi-layers. There's many factors to even discover something like betrayal blindness. First, there's the ADHD. Now, attention hyperactivity deficit disorder is more than just I can't sit still or I can't focus. The main factors of the ADHD is emotional dysregulation. So many times, even when you need to focus or when you are able to focus, it's still a matter that is difficult to manage when it comes to resisting temptation, continuing to progress on that matter that you're focusing on the work that's being done. So, the ADHD is a factor, okay? Then, you might be looking at social anxiety. Before you get anywhere near betrayal trauma or betrayal blindness, you are anxious. You are unconfident in public. You are self-conscious. And it may even get you in trouble. You may make poor impressions. First impression is a lasting one, yes? So, having social anxiety or even being accused, self-accused of social anxiety is an aberration. It is an affliction. It is unfortunate. It is not an asset. It is a tremendous liability in the world of war, in the world of sales, in the world of seduction. So you have ADHD and you have social anxiety, and if one isn't being strong and courageous at all times, via Joshua, the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verses 1 through 9, if one isn't internalizing that type of moral compass, or that type of determinism, if that type of confidence, if one hasn't behaved as if the Most High God, the creator of all of creation, isn't speaking to him directly, if one doesn't embrace that behavior, then he might slip into what one might consider an avoidant personality. That's the scientific and the medical term for cowardice, of course. That's what manly men would call it. That's what the frame game would call it. There's no such thing as being avoidant. You're a coward. And I don't want you around me. I don't want people like you to reside in my space. I don't want to share space with a coward. I need you to actually go very far away from me, avoidant. So most of the world would say. So it doesn't matter who's at fault. It doesn't matter. Feelings aren't registerable in that sense. It just is. The avoidant personality is perceived as a coward and very quickly and summarily dismissed from social settings. Feelings notwithstanding, emotions totally irrelevant. So what you have here is you have ADHD, you have social anxiety, and then you have an avoidant disorder. And that's when you get in the neighborhood of betrayal. How can someone be loyal to someone like that? How can someone care about someone like that? Although the conscious thoughts and although the ideas and intentions may be genius, they may be brilliant, there may be gold and diamonds in the sentiments expressed by this ADHD socially anxious avoidant man of God. But once all of these factors are considered, and there's 8 billion people that are living in the whole wide world, and we exist in the world of men, then we are not even interested in the gold or the diamonds that may be happening, especially as an orator. If you can't produce some really awesome, tangible, financially relevant value, then it's very important to be as ruthless as possible in the world of business and in the world of socials, in the world of society. So you have ADHD, social anxiety, avoidant disorder, and then that's where you get closer to betrayal, trauma. And one with all of these afflictions, especially a male or a man with all these afflictions, that makes one especially susceptible to narcissistic abuse or just being taken advantage of by coercive controllers, by individuals who are extremely socially savvy and ones who don't have respect for anyone at all. They make a socially anxious person a plaything. They make him a joke. They make him a laughing stock. And that's fun because we all like to laugh, right? So, to go into the workplace, to go into the work world and be self-accused of these afflictions is an especially extreme number of factors combined. To be an American Negro, also known as black, also known as a black American man, but to be a black American man and to have done the neurobiological research to ascertain whether one is ADHD, social anxious, avoidant personality, and a victim of narcissistic abuse. Of course, there's betrayal. Who can be loyal to that? What's the reward for loyalty to that? So, one like this, it's hard for anyone to believe, trust, and empower one like this. So, it's between man and God. There's no affliction in the mind, there's no affliction in the body, there's no accusation by any number of men and or women that can supersede the blessings of the Creator. If this is a man blessed by God, if this is a man favored by God, then there's nothing to fear. There's no reason to cry. There's no thing to yearn. There is no thing to be depressed about. And it's extremely important to think of one as favored by God. This is when you learn from narcissistic abuse and you grasp on the wisdoms and the informations from your experiences, and you develop your own grandiose. You develop your own strengthened ego. You lean away from humility. You become a better self-advocate, and you strive to improve everything, every day. Discipline, fitness, diet, mindset, spirit, and it becomes fun. No amount of friends that you may have or not have, no matter the depth of the friendships that you have or don't have, no matter the number of companionships that you might be in maintaining, it's between man and God. And not from a religious standpoint, but from a carbon standpoint. The human body and the human man is the most brilliant creation in the whole wide world. It is the apex predator of all of creation. Sometimes we forget. It's all of the aim of everything that the world is offering to diminish the power of man, to defile a man, to make a man defile himself. And any man that happens to have accidentally become an enemy to himself, the world piles on. How could they not? I think I'm stupid. I think so too. I want to kill myself. You probably should. Matter of fact, go right ahead. As a matter of fact, please do. Why shouldn't the world do that? So, as a black man with betrayal blindness that might be the targets of narcissistic abuse, as a black man with betrayal blindness, patience is a virtue, forgiveness is essential, and most importantly, as a black man with betrayal blindness, it does mean that you're the laughing stock of every social interaction in public, and a constant crybaby suicide threat in private. But even with those afflictions, even with the most heinous inner world hell one can imagine, live strong, live long, and receive the blessings of God. Amen.